and this is just a mini lesson to help you guys prepare for your assessment task, which is due next Tuesday, the 26th of March. So we are investigating landscapes and landforms. I'll take you back to your task. Hopefully you have started or at least have chosen the particular landscape or landform you are going to investigate. Now, like I told you before, there's 3 steps here. All right. Step 1, do the research. Step 2, write your speech. Step 3, create your PowerPoint. Now, do your research. So on a simple document, I've copy pasted the requirements for your speech. Now, once I've chosen my particular landscape, alright, I'm going to answer the following questions. Now, a lot of this stuff we have not yet talked about in class, but you must know that people value landscapes and landforms for different reasons. Now, this is going to be an investigation for yourself. Once you choose your particular landscape, you must then do extended research. A lot of the times, if you simply put the particular landscape that you want into a Google search, it will give you plenty of different sites to choose from. A part of research is actually clicking on the sites. For example, we have the Glasshouse Mountains. I will open up a browser. We have a couple of different things here for Glasshouse Mountains. Alright, first one's about staying there. You might click on that. It can give you some of the values for recreation. Alright, a couple of different things, guides, etc. For now, we'll just click on the Wikipedia site, which is like an online encyclopedia. Now here, it gives us a lowdown of what the Glasshouse Mountains are. As you can see, it's got a bunch of different sections. This is great information to read up on your landscape or landform. Now, if you want to look further on these Wikipedia sites, if you go down to the references and start to click on some of these different sites, it might take you to a good place. For instance, let's go to this place here, National Heritage Places. So we click on the site and it'll bring us here. Boom. A .gov.au site, meaning it's reliable. Alright, and again, you need to read up on the information. Discovering the Glass Mountains, how it was formed, alright, inspirational landscape, alright, here we're talking about some significances, indigenous significance. Now, all this stuff is crucial to our research. Now, if you're having trouble finding out what some of these things mean, I recommend going to your ebook. If you remember, we have downloaded the ebook onto your device, and I've also placed it in our Google Classroom. The chapters you will need for this investigation is Chapter 1, which tells you about landscapes and landforms, the most basic information, and how they're formed. Yeah. Okay. And then Chapter 2, which describes the value of landscapes. And it breaks down all the different types of values you need to mention in your assessment task. I recommend having a read through and look through all of those different of these 2 chapters to give you more information on your assessment task. So now that you've got all the information, all right, you need to write your speech. Remember, your speech has to be 4 minutes long. Now, the basis of your speech is going to be basically saying all the information that you found in clear and complete sentences. Once we've done that, all right, time yourself. See how fast you speak. And so once you've written down your speech, all right, practice or your research, just try speaking through all your research in clear and complete sentences. Make sure it makes sense when you read it. If you, let's say you're going over 5 or 6 minutes, you probably might need to cut out some information and you're too long-winded. Or let's say if you're uh, coming up short, like 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes, you can always supplement your speech with some fun facts about your landscape or landform. Once you've got your 4 minutes down, all right, it's time to make your PowerPoint. Another thing to consider is referencing your PowerPoint throughout your for your PowerPoint. As you begin to create it, notice that it tells you how much you need of each different section. Okay, notice that it does say 1 slide. If you have more information or want to make an extra slide, that is okay. It is just saying you need to show at least 1 slide for each aspect of the research asking you. Now, when you're working through your PowerPoint, you do have to include some annotated images. Okay, for these annotated images, you need to make sure that you reference them during your speech. That will take up some of your 4 minutes time. So you might create your speech, practice it once, create your PowerPoint, and then do it together and see how long it's taking you to come up with that information. When it comes time to annotate your digital image, you should look something like this. So I've made a Google slide presentation. On here, I have a picture of the 3 sisters in the Blue Mountains. All right, how might you annotate the picture? You can create different text boxes around it describing the different parts of the landform. For instance, the 3 individual landforms are known as the 3 sisters. You could also use arrows and lines. You can point an arrow out. You can point an arrow out to the valley. You can increase the thickness here. And you can just simply add a text box. The valleys of the mountains have been formed through running rivers. And that is the way you would annotate your image. Okay, the last thing I wanted to go over before we end this video is the bibliography. So, your bibliography, there is a scaffold provided. So if we go back to our assessment task notification, it's the very last page after the rubric. So here we have presenting a bibliography. Most of the information you find will be through websites and possibly YouTube. That's another great resource to start at for your landscape or landform for looking information is YouTube. You guys are all experts at YouTube and you know how to go to more videos and see who created them. But for ours, we'll just go with the website. Remember, you must cite both your pictures and your information. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the image that I found. So I will click on the image, I will open up the website. Alright, once I have this website open, we can see that this was the image that I used. Alright, let's go to the rubric, and it's very simple. We'll copy the rubric. Now, what is the site name? So we know the site name is called Blue Mountain Explorer Bus. So we'll just write that into the bar. Blue Mountain Explorer. The author, let's see if we can find an author on this website or creator. A lot of the times, the creator you will find at the very bottom of the page. Now for this one, terms, contact us, Blue Mountain Explorer Bus. It just looks like we get a company name. Let's try clicking on contact us. No, let's try terms. There's no real author or a name jumping out at us. Alright, so we will just use the company name that made it, Blue Mountain Explorer Bus. Sometimes you will come across a particular website that has no author. You may write unknown or just take your best educated assumption of who do you think the author is. Now the site address is fairly simple. You'll go to the site and very simply just copy the URL, stick it in, right? And then the date you viewed it. Today is the 18th of March, 2019. Now, you have all the basic information you need. For this assessment task, you can just leave it in the box, or you can take it one step further. You can take it out of the box and stick it into just a sentence. Unknown author, period. After each segment, put a full stop and then date viewed. And there you have it. Simple as that. So for my image that I used here, that would be my bibliography that I would put on my very last slide on my assessment, on my PowerPoint that I create. Now, if you have any questions or anything comes up, please make a comment in the Google Classroom. All right. Also ask your classmates. Your classmates are also very valuable when it comes to information. Most of the information now has been given to you on the assessment task notification and through these tutorial videos. You have about a week from tomorrow, a week from Tuesday, to complete this task. If you have any questions, please come and find me. Or one last thing before I sign out is I want to express to you guys how important it is to practice your speech. You need to practice your speech at least 10 times and as many times as it'll take you to get it in the 4 minutes time. Remember, you have a little bit of leeway. It's going to take you practice. Practice, practice, practice. Practice in front of your mom, your dad, your sister. Practice in front of the mirror. You are allowed to bring in palm cards, right? But make sure you are engaging with the audience. Make sure you're not just reading down the whole entire time and I can't hear you because you're speaking straight to your cards. Practice your speech enough that you can lift your head up, look around, make eye contact, all right, with the teacher, with your classmates about the information you are conveying. It makes a big difference in the engagement of your audience. Thank you.